Well, it's going here. We got 5 seconds, 6, 7, 8. Any live on the stream?
Refreshing.
All right.
Nada.
Nada.
I'm seeing it. I'm
Yep.
seeing it. I'm seeing it on
I'm seeing
mine.
it too. A little sports talk.
It is live now.
It is live now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, fans of BKBK. We just had some technical issues, but we're back, and we're just going to jump right back into it. Apologize, guys. Get all your families and friends, get your popcorn ready, like T.O. says, and come on back and join the kids, join the team.
It's worth it.
It is worth it. It is worth it. So before we were cut off, we were talking about the significance in Jets history that Darrelle Revis has basically laid down, and him just being just a great and probably top 5 and greatest cornerbacks ever in the NFL. But we're just going to continue to move on. We've already fleshed that out. Now what we want to talk about is camp. Camp is coming up, and there's some position battles, some important position battles that are going to be happening. And we all want to know basically how we value these position battles. For me, of course, number one is the quarterback battle between McCown, between Bridgewater, and of course our number one draft pick, Sam Darnold. So for me, that's the number one thing.
Sure.
I think I would love to see, let's just start this off right, that Sam Darnold bests all of them and is given nothing but bests them with his intellect and with his athletic ability and with his moxie and really earns it. And then we can now start looking at the Jets in a franchise way of we have a franchise quarterback that can lead us for the next 10 to 12 years. What do you guys think?
So, I mean, we kind of touched upon that the last podcast. I'm I'm still up in the air as far as what our best opportunity is. Darnold winning the quarterback battle is awesome, and that'd be great if they were all peaking and they're all doing well. If Bridgewater wins it, I'm fine too. I just want somebody that's going to go out there and win some games for us at the end of the day and give us an opportunity to actually make it to the playoffs. So I don't care which one wins it. I like for them all to look good. If they all look good, then I'd like Darnold to actually win the spot because he's going to be in the chair for a long time. But at the end of the day, I just want somebody that's going to lead us to the playoffs.
I agree with you, man. I'm sorry, Kyle. And basically, if it's Darnold, he will help to lay down the foundation of where the coaches are going to go philosophically, and long term and short term with their approach to the team, with their approach to the offense, and with the approach of how they even want to present the Jets as a franchise as a whole. So, like for instance, when Rex Ryan was here, Rex Ryan wanted to be kind of like the badass of it all, kind of wanted to be the guys that like you don't mess with, if you push us, we're not going to push you back.
Sure.
We're going to give you the 2-piece.
Created an identity.
He created an identity.
Sure.
But he created an identity through him, not through our quarterback, because our quarterback, I don't think was good enough or didn't even have that type of moxie or personality to bring that forward. But I think with Sam Darnold, even if he's quiet, you don't have to have this whole rah-rah personality about you. But I think just with him being him, as long as he's good, we can sort of procure that, for a lack of a better expression.
Yeah, I think I agree with Brian as far as like, I want them all to do well. I mean, obviously everybody does, but I think that looking at it from a different angle, just the fact that it's such an optimistic outlook going into camp. Like, we have the future, we have the present, we have a lot of somebody, I guess the guy Connor Hughes from The Athletic referred to Teddy Bridgewater as like a lottery ticket. And you don't know if it's going to win or it's going to lose, but you got hope that you got. So you got like, you got your fail safe, you have your future, and you have your lottery ticket. And I don't think we've had that kind of outlook at that position in a long time. So it's going to be more fun to watch than it is, nail biting or, anxiety ridden. I think that as time goes by, I'm starting to like more and more the moves that McCaggs has made as far as building this team up. And I think it'll be interesting to see if they perform on the field to back up the decisions that he's made and the way that he's functioned monetarily with the team. He has 3 quarterbacks on the roster that can start football games for us. And we're still going to be the highest under the salary cap next year.
And he brought all 3 in.
Yep.
Brought all 3
They're
in.
all his responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, like you were saying the last episode of our podcast in terms of the quarterback room. I mean, I like the individuals that are there, and it's definitely an upgrade from the last several years that we've that the room has been in existence.
Sure.
As far as that's concerned,
Can't get any worse than that.
But what I want to focus on is in another position that I think is going to be instrumental in determining how well these quarterbacks are going to do, and that's the wide receiver room.
Sure.
And we know that Quincy is going to have a slot. We know that Robbie is going to have a slot.
Sure.
We know that who's the third?
Curse.
We know that Jerome.
But they were talking about
Curse
trying to trade him or cut him, which is stupid in my opinion.
Which is dumb in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be there. He settles that room. Really
professionally.
Absolutely.
Professionally settles
And a winner.
that room.
Yeah.
So really, you're talking about the 4th spot, and you're talking about who's going to step up. Is it going to be Terrell Pryor, who we signed? Is it going to be Ardarius Stewart, who just got
never
suspended?
Put Hansen in there.
Or is it going to be Hansen? And I like
Hansen's chances too.
I mean, they're comparing him to Pierre Garçon. I mean, that is a lofty comparison.
Absolutely.
Adam Thielen too. They're comparing him to. They just had a
That'd
big
be
thing
nice.
about
Yeah.
Adam Thielen.
Right. I like him. And I mean, I know he didn't do much at the end of during the season. Had a couple of decent games towards the end of the season, but I think that number 4 slot, along with the other 3, are going to be instrumental in determining how well or how far that quarterback room is going to do and how good they're going to look.
I think they're sleeping on our wide receivers. I think
we
that
have 27 of them, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, 27. We're going to pare it down to 4 or 5 eventually.
Probably 6.
Yeah. But I think that they're sleeping on who we have in the wide receiver group. I mean, I like that. Robbie Anderson last year really stepped up. He is definitely a deep threat, somebody that you got to consider on the outside. You got Enunwa coming back. He had 800 yards as a number 1 wide receiver during that down year that we had. So you have 2 of them in there. You also have like you said, Hansen coming on. You got Curse that's there, who's 700, 800 yards, somewhere in that range as well. So the ball can go to any one of them, and then Hansen, like you said, coming on. I would like for him to win. You got Terrell Pryor if he gets back healthy, and that's a big if. Then you have him on the outside, who's a burner, who's tall. I mean,
with Robbie, you put those 2 guys on the
outside. You got a new one, Hansen.
Oh
work in the middle and stuff. I mean, I like the way that looks.
I love it, and they're also
talked about the tight ends yet.
No.
Yeah, and that was actually my next one. But just to just put a dot on this one, they're saying that Robbie Anderson, hopefully he just keeps his head on straight, basically replaces the whole Devin Smith factor. And as far as us drafting him in the 2nd round and hoping that he would be the player that Robbie Anderson ended up being. So if he can keep his head on straight, he can be that guy that just, splits everything and just forces the action deep. And we saw, there's proof in the pudding of what he did last year. And I think, he probably could have gone in as an alternate in the Pro Bowl last year. So he did really, really well.
It's almost 1,000 yards.
Yeah, almost 1,000 yards. And how many touchdowns did he have? I think he had at least like 9, I think, or something.
Like 8 or
that.
9.
When's the last
7,
time?
8, 9, yeah.
When was the last time? You guys know when the last
that.
time we had a 1,000-yard receiver?
The last time we had a 1,000-yard receiver.
Oh, it was Brandon Marshall.
Yeah.
You sure?
And Decker.
15.
And Decker.
Yeah, you're right.
How many did he have? You think?
How many
he had 1,000?
Yeah, they both had a
They
1,000.
both did in the
They
same
both had
season.
1,000?
Yeah, in
How
the
many
same
years ago
season.
was it?
15.
That was 15.
Robbie
2015. Yeah.
Robbie Anderson had 63 catches, 941 yards, and
change,
7
yeah.
touchdowns last year.
7. Okay.
All righty.
We haven't been in the playoffs in 7 years. Is that what it is? It's been 7 years since we've been to the playoffs.
Wow.
Has it?
Have we been to the playoffs since Rex?
No.
No.
Have we been to the playoffs since 2010?
The last time we
Boussette
went to
wedding?
the playoffs
Since the
was the
Boussette
can't
wedding,
wait the can't wait year, or the year after that.
Can't wait. That's Bart Scott, right? That might have been you know what? I don't know. I'm
I
guessing.
think that was it. Because we ended up going to the AFC Championship game. We ended up losing in the AFC Championship game, and then that was it. They
10
broke up
going
the
into
bid.
11. 10 going into 11.
Right. Wow.
Got to make it before the decade's up. I mean, come on, man.
I was only 19 years old then.
Sure.
Wow.
Your shirt was 19 years old.
Wow.
Not that one. That one right there is new.
My shirt
That's
makes
new,
you.
huh?
My shirt makes you want to eat a bowl of pasta at Carmine's or something. Family style.
who's the starting tight end?
Well, here we go.
Right now, we don't have one.
Here we go.
We don't have one.
Who's it going to be though?
That's my next segment too. Not segment, but that was the third,
Leggett.
position battle.
I think it's Leggett.
Yeah.
I think he ends up winning it.
I don't know. I like Herndon.
Why?
Love this
I like
kid.
that
Herndon.
guy.
I think they're both going to play.
And they talk about his inline blocking is spectacular. I think those are the words that we used. Spectacular.
Who's most healthy though?
Got a man crush on him or something?
Just saying.
Huh?
I think he's on my list. Is he on my list? Oh, I think he is.
Herndon's blocking.
Who's the most healthy? Because Leggett's
Herndon's
coming
not.
off injury.
Right. They both are.
Herndon's coming off a torn MCL, isn't he?
Right. Yep.
Well, I heard Leggett is definitely healthy at this point, and I've seen his name out there in a lot of different situations, catching passes, whatever the case may be. Herndon is still getting over something, leg or knee or something like that, or actually he got towards ACL or something like that last year, towards the end of last year in college. So he's still kind of rehabbing through that. But he has been able to suit up and play. So I think it's going to be Leggett. I think he's going to be the number one passing option as far as tight end is concerned. And you have Herndon kind of mixing in there as a threat as he learns the offense and kind of moves forward with it.
I'm going out on a limb and saying that Leggett and Herndon are the starters at the end of the year, but Tomlinson is the starter at the beginning of the year.
I would agree with that.
think-
He's
yeah, just as
he's
far
the
as he's
safe option. As far and plus, just to establish the running game, and also he's the veteran as well. But but by the end of the year, he will not have nearly as many catches as either one of those two, Leggett.
The other two are dynamic. He's not dynamic.
He's not dynamic.
No.
Exactly.
No, not at all.
Exactly. But I think those positions that we just spoke about the QB, we spoke about the tight ends, and we spoke about the wide receivers. I think for the most part, they're the most important positions that we need to really address and suss out, save one, and I think the D-line. The D-line, I would probably rank above the need as far as wide receivers, because we have more depth than one would think. And we have, I read, we have 4 receivers that have 700 yards,
Sure.
or more. So all right, we don't have 1,000-yard receivers, but we have 4 on one team that have over 700 yards and I forget however many catches. So we have veterans, we have guys that can play and that can ball, but with the D-line, how it was, and how dominant we were, and how dominant we were penciled in to be, and now to have only 25% of our original D-line, there's no more big snacks, there's no more Muhammad, there's no more Sheldon Richardson. So now it's just the big cat. So we need someone to help him out on the other side or in the middle or something.
You know what, though? I'm not as worried about the D-line. We drafted towards that position this year with some folks. And then you got the big cat, so at least you have star power on the D-line. The outside linebackers.
Yeah.
I mean, really, could you name 2 of them? I mean, we could probably name 2 of them or probably all 4. But, I mean, as far as anybody else, there's really not much talent there. Or the talent that we do have, they need to take not even the next step, 4 steps. Otherwise, what are we really going to do from a pass rush perspective? I mean, it's nice that we upgraded the cornerback and the safety positions over the last couple of years through the draft and through free agency. But honestly, they're going to be covering people for 5 minutes. because
Right.
we don't have any pressure right now from the outside. So that's really a concern. Well, who's going to win that? Are we going to bring somebody in from the outside that gets cut or via trade? That's for me is more of a question mark than the D line.
We kind of don't have a quality issue in some cases though, because Leonard Williams is so good. As far as like where we're starting from,
Right.
If you're saying that, you're taking apart the nucleus of what we had before that was considered so good. I don't know if you guys saw, but the NFL Network came out with a like top offense and defense under 25. And on that defense, two of our players were on that. The Big Cat and Jamal Adams were both first teamers
Right.
on that.
They should have put May on there too. They should have put May on there.
Well, either way, I mean, I think it would have been tough to have two safeties on that list. But my point with that is in this youth movement, we don't really know what's going to come of the draft picks yet. The Foley Cassis or the Shepard, the old kid that we drafted. They might turn out really good. Damon Harrison was I think I don't even know if he was drafted. I think
he wasn't.
He was not.
Undrafted free agent. Yep.
So it remains to be seen. We do have quality on top, though. We have a great young defensive lineman.
Right.
And going back to what Brian's saying about the outside linebackers, it's like that kid Dylan Donahue, who had the DWI issues over the offseason. I mean, that's like a significant guy on our depth chart that we're expecting to play. Now, I don't think anybody outside of this room knows, or maybe like, New York Jets land knows who Dylan Donahue is or what his deal is, because he was a rookie last year.
I don't think he's that significant. I watched him play. I think he's decent, but he doesn't like wholesale impress me. They
like him though. They like him.
Well, I think to Kyle's point is he's significant because we don't have anybody in front of him.
Right. No, I get that too. Exactly.
Right.
He's Chad Cascadden.
Yo, here we go.
You know what I mean? Like Chad Cascadden.
Cascadden.
He didn't. My dad used to be like, "Yo, Chad Cascadden never even started a game on any level until he came to the Jets. He didn't start at Wisconsin, and he didn't start in high school. That was like the thing."
Wow.
And my dad was like, "We got a dude starting that never started before. What's up with that?" So who knows?
It's a talent void. When you have a talent void, that it pushes all the other stuff up to the top. And so that was exactly my point. I mean, you got Molden there. He was injured last year. You got Jenkins on the other side, which is serviceable, but you're not going to get any pressure from him. So where are you going to get the sacks from?
Well, the other thing is that I think our coach, I think the Jets, coach is a defensive coach, and I think he understands schemes. And I think part of it is, I think he wants to see Darren Lee flourish, and I think that middle part of the defensive line, I think he's going to focus on that, getting pressure in the middle of that defensive line. And I think the edge again hasn't been addressed as well as we would want it to, but I think the interior linebacking core has. I think that's been their focus.
What about
because of what has landed in their laps too?
What about the guy from the Colts, though? This guy Anderson from the Colts might be
the defensive end,
something that we're not even really thinking about here.
We got that from trade, right?
That's D line. It's not going to be an outside linebacker, though.
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about an edge, but he's an edge guy.
He's an edge dude. He's an edge dude. So I mean, again, we it's not like
you got to scheme it up. In other words,
it's not we're not in a position of strength there, but I think that again, it's going to have to be schemed up.
And I think with the safeties that we do have, if we have to get creative with the blitz, because they have a year in the system already, then they can cover some of these folks out of the backfield or tight ends over the middle, whatever the case may be, in case we have to send a corner or we have to send some of the backers or whatever the case may be. So
we have pretty quality corners now.
Absolutely.
I love our corners.
I honestly have a greater concern for the nickel, and if Buster Screen is going to be the nickel. I think
I want him out of here.
I think Perry Nickerson is going to challenge.
I hope he wins it.
So I think J.J. Wilcox, although he's not, I don't think he's traditionally a nickel.
He's a safety.
Yep.
Safety. But we need to have somebody that is going to step up at that nickel position, because it was a a concern last year.
It's an albatross. It's just, it's maybe not the correct term for him, but I mean, oh my gosh, I hate seeing him with the pass interference.
Yeah.
I hate seeing the
but
guy.
The issue that I have with Buster Screen is that it's either all or nothing. It's either feast or famine with him. He hasn't I don't think he's understood positioning as it relates to getting himself in the right position before the play starts. Just from what I've seen, and I think his holding penalties have elucidated that. I think they've shown specifically that part of the problem.
This is what we purchased from Cleveland.
Yeah.
He was known for penalties when we bought him.
Mm-hmm.
We paid too much for him in the first place. So if you're looking at McCaggs, I mean, you got to hang it on him for that. He can't play on the outside really effectively, because last year has shown that when Claiborne went down and he was out there. I mean, it's like, did we have corners last year? That's what you kind of felt like. So to me, I don't see him having a viable position on this team, and I hope that
unless it's at nickel.
I don't think it should be at nickel. That's where we brought him in for, and he wasn't effective there either. Right. So that's where I feel like we need somebody to replace him in order to be effective long term. And I get you that it's a tough position,
it is the toughest
role,
position from the defensive back standpoint.
But that's what you get paid to do.
Well, he's not. Well, yeah, that's true.
It's usually a good role for your young corner, who is not, you don't necessarily want to put on the outside yet,
right?
But can run with those inside guys, and Perry Nickerson seems to fit that bill.
Yep.
And has nickel experience, so I think that will take care of itself. That competition, the best guy will play. I don't think they'll play Buster Screen just because he has a big contract or just because he's in a contract year or whatever.
They were talking about cutting him, so
yeah. So, and that still could happen.
Yeah. Depending upon how well Perry Nickerson or somebody else steps up during the preseason.
They're saying that Perry Nickerson, outside of Sam Darnold, could very well be the best Jets pick in this last draft. So we'll see. We'll watch him in camp and everything. The kid's a speedster. He's a ball hawk as well. He just played for Tulane. So, the caliber of football is still D1. It's still in the South and everything, but it's not like he played for Alabama or he played for LSU or he played for Florida or Clemson or Georgia or anything like that. But, I mean, I'm sure if he did play against those teams, they were losing, but he's still a really, really good player, and he's also a little bit diminutive.
Sure.
But I believe in the kid, and if he succeeds, this might be finally the draft that McCagnon can get 2 thumbs up for.
Sure.
So we'll see.
And the offseason in general with all the free agents that he picked up as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Tulane's in Conference USA, man. That's where the national champions came from, Central Florida.
The national champions, right? The self-proclaimed national champions. Like, I get it because they went undefeated, but, come on.
It's a little convoluted, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, listen, let's bring this show back to our roots, okay? When I say roots, what do I mean, fellas? Baldwin Bruins, right? Baldwin. Baldwin Pride hit Sting, right? So, yeah. Ball whistle. Let's go.
Ball whistle.
Woo! Come on, baby. And speaking about Baldwin Pride, one of our Baldwinite brothers, Peter Alaco, former teammate of ours,
Alaco.
he just got engaged. And he got engaged to another Baldwinite, right? Another teammate of ours. His younger sister or cousin or something, Kyle?
No, his sister. The person you're referring to is Bobby Gormson. He wasn't our teammate. He was arguably.
So it wasn't Don Gormson. It was Bobby Gormson.
So all right. So Peter Alaco is now engaged to Kate Gormson, who is Jennifer and Bobby Gormson's sister. Now, you'll remember Bobby Gormson's dad was a police officer in Baldwin, retired now.
Mm-hmm.
Their cousins, Don and Greg, were Baldwin football players. Don was a captain. in '90
and played with us.
Was the center. And he went on to play at Lehigh. Play tackle at Lehigh.
How tall was he, man? I just remember looking up. Was it 6'4" or something?
No, he was 6'5". Donnie Gormson was like a solid 6'5".
He grew after high school too. Like he got taller.
Wow,
he's like 6'7" now.
Get out of here.
Or something like that. I haven't seen him in a while. But
he was tall as Terry Reardon,
taller. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like head to head with Terry Reardon.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say Bobby Gormson, who played running back on the Brandon Moore teams, Kevin Shippos, he was unbelievable. Not Brooklyn Tech, Baldwin football player, and it's his sister that Alaco got engaged to. So it's like a royal wedding of Baldwin football.
Okay,
all right, Peter Alaco.
Two great families coming together.
Peter Alaco
Don Gormson was my Sal's Wander In pregame meal partner too.
Sal's Wander In. Hold on, I got a nice little asset. So, folks, if you guys are not familiar with Baldwin, first of all, this is Peter Alaco right here, number 65. Check out Peter Alaco, baby.
6'5", baby. 6'5".
Yeah, played interior tackle, played nose tackle for us as well. And yeah, Peter Alaco, just a great guy. Love Peter. I remember we were up at Camp Colang, and remember when like half the team, or at least like a solid quarter of the team, got like this little like semi-food poisoning. I was one of the guys, and like
it was all in the O-line barracks for whatever reason.
It was in alignment, and I went up there. I was 237. When I came back home after that week, I was 222. I'll never forget it because it was a mess. But anyway, I had to miss practice, and I remember Sean Henry and Peter Alaco going up the hill. Remember the hill at Colang?
Of course.
And I had a big cooler of iced tea because I went out there, support the team. I just couldn't practice, or else I would have, had an accident in my pants. It was real loosey-goosey down there.
Wow.
And then, he had to carry Sean Henry going up the hill, come back down. Phillips, you got to give me a swig. So I would give him a swig, and then he'd go up the hill again and come back down. Oh, you got to give me another. I'm going to die out here. You got to give me another one. And then coach sees me. He's like, Phillips, cut it out. No more drinks for these guys. I was like, oh, snap. I wonder if Alaco remembers that. Oh, my goodness. There's Peter Alaco right there. Fans and friends. That's Peter Alaco, number 65. And, to be a true Baldwin Bruin, Peter, first of all, congratulations and God bless you and your fiance and your family. Secondly, what I want to say is if you're really a Baldwinite, you got to do this, all right? You got to get married right here. Boom. You better go to the Coral House, all right? Have your reception there, look at the beautiful view. It's right off the pond right there. What street is that on Milburn or?
Hold up one second. I'm saying Kate Gormson over here. It's Karen Gormson.
Karen Gormson. Gotcha.
Karen Gormson. Kate, and the reason I'm getting that mixed up is Donnie Gormson's older sister, I believe. There's a lot of Gormsons out there. Gormsons, right there.
Your last name should be Smith.
This is what a delay in technical difficulties will do for you. Karen Gormson is Peter Alaco's fiance.
Right. Make sure he's marrying the right one here.
Yeah.
That's important.
Gets a little weird if you miss.
And I'm making sure I have that right too, because Jennifer Gormson is my sister's best friend, and Karen would come over with her mother to pick up her sister from my house, and I remember from when she was like 2 years old. So Karen Gormson. I'm not even gonna sit here and get that wrong in front of all these people.
Yeah, you better
not. Podcast land. In front of all these people watching us right now.
They're gonna catch you later. Don't worry. Part two is funnier than part one.
So, like I was saying, I have the image back up again. The Coral House. All right. So we're just giving Peter. These are guys that have gone through and gotten married. You know what I'm saying before. Why don't you do the Coral House and keep it Baldwin Bruin? Okay.
Keep it all right. 100% Baldwin, baby.
And you know what? Let's even backtrack. Why don't you have if it were still around, all right, and Baldwin Bruins know this, if this restaurant was still around, I would love to see you have your rehearsal dinner right here because you would get it for free. Bobby Ravino's, all right. Have your rehearsal dinner here if it was still around. They gave you free meals on your birthday, and I'm sure they would endear you as saying, you know what? Hey, Pete, you know what? This is Bobby Rubino's. What, you getting married? Yeah, why don't you have your rehearsal dinner here for free? It's fine. Come on. You know?
Come on.
The ribs, they're amazing.
Yeah. Oh, they fall off the bone.
Oh, that barbecue sauce. The chicken gizzards, the fried chicken gizzards.
Oh, yeah.
They had chicken gizzards there, huh?
Right, fried.
Wow. I never had that.
Come on. Come on.
What kind of sauce you throw on chicken gizzards?
I don't know. You gotta ask my mom.
Gotcha. You gotta throw that
She
good.
loved those. I wouldn't eat them. I couldn't even look
Negative.
That good gizzard sauce.
Nah, I stay with the ribs and
Was it
chicken.
chicken gizzard or the livers? Chicken livers. It might have been
Went to Bobby Rubino's for
Both.
the tea dance once. Big group of us. I don't know if if you guys were in on that date group.
No.
Remember the tea dance? For those of you who don't understand, the sports night tea dance is when the girls ask the guys on the date. So
that might be why they never went.
Funny.
I only got asked once.
No.
oh,
Yeah,
you can play them.
Yeah. I think
Right.
I got at least one invite. You know what I mean? As I can recall.
The one that you wanted?
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
At the time.
At the time.
Yeah.
We won't mention names.
No. Be named.
Yeah, but they also paid for it too, which was
Even worse.
Awesome.
You couldn't slide us some cash for that?
I'm just saying,
The
it was
paper
tradition.
route?
It's the only time in your life you're gonna,
I did have
whatever.
a paper route.
So did I.
So did I.
I took over
Newsday.
DDA's paper out back in the day. What's up, D? Yeah.
Shout out to Newsday.
Yeah, you know
Yep,
that.
yep. That was like slave labor. They were giving us like 5 cents a newspaper.
That's
something
right.
ridiculous. We survived on the tips.
Gee whiz.
So
Oh, you didn't make
Zaffarelli's-
any money off a paper route. Paper route was like,
Oh, I made
Yo, you
money.
were-
I made money on the tips. The Zaffarellis were tippers, boy.
Oh, nice. Go Sox.
That's how I got that babysitting job. Babysitting the Zaffarelli sons.
what is that? Pennsylvania Avenue was the route.
Pennsylvania,
yeah. Pennsylvania,
That was
yeah.
my route,
Would you
right?
have, would you have you had the Vanderwaters across the street
Yes.
also?
Yes.
You delivered their paper?
I did.
The
I
Vanderwaters.
did. Always late, right after football practice.
Wow,
Get
getting your
that
paper
news
at like
after the news is
6
old.
p.m.
Right.
Mr. Zaffarelli
I've seen
didn't
it
have his
3
paper
times
late.
already.
You had to give Mr. Zaffarelli his paper late.
Oh,
He'll
yeah.
throw it back at you.
Well, it was always his mom that would give me the money.
Okay.
I would wait to see her car in the driveway.
Oh man. So all right. So have your reception at the Coral House, Pete. Okay.
That's right.
All right. Have your rehearsal dinner at Bobby Rubino's, if we could, throw that back, right? And then you have a great night. You party up. Woo! Drinks are flowing. There's love in the air and all that. And then to recover the next day after having and going out for a night of partying, you got to have your little recuperation meal at the Wander Inn. All right? This is a Baldwin staple. Here it is right here, the Wander Inn. Okay? Great food over there. And you know what? The best lobster bisque ever. Okay? I've never sat down to eat at the Wander Inn, but I would order takeout. And the lobster bisque was amazing.
Was it superb?
It was
What-
superlative.
What did everybody else order at the Wander Inn? What was your go-to dish at the Wander Inn?
I didn't go.
Yeah, I can't say that I went. No.
Mine was the lobster bisque. That was my go-to meal. I love the lobster bisque.
Did it look like that? Is that straight from?
Right.
No,
Wander
it's
Inn?
not. Is
There's
it?
a little browner. Little browner.
Yeah.
They just recently closed about maybe 8 months ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I should have drove down there and got a nice lobster bisque.
One last time, right?
And they were
Yeah.
always supportive of Baldwin. They would always support the Baldwin baseball teams.
Yeah.
the Little League baseball
Rotary Club?
teams. They
Rotary
would,
Club.
Rotary
Yeah,
Club. They would always have the Wander Inn on the back of the shirts of the
Yeah.
kids playing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Frank Electric. Remember Frank
Right.
Electric?
Frank Electric.
Frank
Oh,
Electric.
Frank
Chino's
Electric.
Pizza.
Yeah.
I always got the spaghetti and meatballs when we went for pregame football ones. But if I was going out to dinner with my parents, chicken parm, and they give you the chicken parm in like the metal skillet.
Nice.
thing.
Nice.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Nice.
You know the thing I'm talking about, right?
Yes, of
Oh
course.
man,
Makes
Nice.
it crispy on the outside, on the edges.
Nice.
Yeah, getting hungry. Oh, well.
Didn't they just recently close down Sorrento's?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's
they
not even
closed down.
recently,
They
right?
closed down Sorrento's. They knocked it down
Oh wow.
because they're redoing what was before the Pathmark that was there.
Okay.
What was it? Was it Pathmark when we were growing
Pathmark.
up?
Yeah,
too?
it was
Yeah.
Pathmark.
Yeah, so they're redoing it and they're opening it up as an A&P, a superstore A&P, and they're gonna have other stores surrounding it where
Sorrento's was. That was a staple
I-
of Sorrento's.
Yeah, it was.
I heard a story. I heard a story involving that shopping center from somebody from. I heard this at the reunion. I don't remember who it was that said it, but they said that somebody's dad saw that they were opening a club where the supermarket used to be, and he was like, "That's the last straw. I'm out of this town. I'm selling the house. I'm getting out of here. They're gonna put a club there. Oh, it's gonna ruin the town." And it turns out they were filming a movie.
Right,
And
that's what they were doing.
It was a movie.
Yeah.
And he got all upset about how the neighborhood was
I
going.
heard that story. I heard that story too.
Fun.
Yeah.
Come on,
It
buddy.
was like really a club. Yeah.
Bringing in economy to Baldwin. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
But Sorrento's was weird though, because it was like a house
Right.
that had pizza in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like standalone. It wasn't attached to anything.
No.
You know
You
what? I
know,
wasn't really a fan of Sorrento's. I opted for Baldwin Pizza, which was right next to Baldwin Cycle, right
Yeah.
next to the movie
Right
theater.
next to the movie
Baldwin
theater.
movie theater.
I like Baldwin Pizza too.
I like
Yeah.
Baldwin Pizza
Yeah.
better.
You didn't have to cross the street on lunch break,
Right.
so you just make the
I
left
like
turn.
Bob Benny.
across.
Bob Benny
Bob
was down by Joe's Deli.
Yep.
And if I wasn't getting the $90.99 Joe's Deli special,
Doggy.
and playing Super Contra with Brandon,
Absolutely.
I was going to Bob Benny.
Yeah, Bob Benny's was decent, but I went there the least. I would say
Out of all the pizza shops.
definitely. It was like Baldwin Pizza. Sorrento's when I wanted to get a calzone. They had really good fat calzones
Yep.
there. Really, really good. And then the pizza itself, I would go to Baldwin. I would go to the
Baldwin Pizza?
Yeah, Baldwin Pizza. Yeah.
Now, did you choose your pizza spot based on the video game that was there too? Did that factor in the decision making process?
I mean, well, Sorrento's didn't have it.
But
Didn't
Baldwin
have it.
Pizza had.
Maybe
had,
that's what
had
it
video
was. Because
games.
at Baldwin Pizza, I would play Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah.
and then next door at Baldwin Cycle,
Mm-hmm.
I would play Miss Pac-Man.
Had your quarters lined up on the
Right.
top row.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
when was Baldwin Cycle there? Baldwin Cycle was on Church, and then it was on Sunrise Highway, I thought.
No.
What
Well,
was the-
again,
what was
I'm 87, so it was
Oh.
right next to the movie theater. So there was a small narrow store right next to the movie theater, and then right next to that was Baldwin Pizza. Right now, there's a bagel shop there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, the
that
bagel
was the
shop has
bagel
been
shop
in.
that
Yeah,
we used to
been
go
there.
to.
Yep.
Oh
Bacon,
my
egg, and cheese, baby. Bacon,
Salt,
egg, and
pepper,
cheese.
ketchup.
Salt, pepper,
They would-
ketchup.
They would do double bacon too. You could get the double bacon.
You
We
used to,
always with the butter too. We
you,
used to
you
slap
used
it
to
on the
love.
butter.
McKenna used to get the double bacon. He used to
Yeah.
get you loved the double bacon,
Who
bro.
doesn't love
Me and
double
Mossy
bacon?
used to go there third period. We had third, fourth period off. We would
Yep.
go
Yep.
third period,
Get the
bacon, egg, and cheese.
butter
Get
on
two
the bagel
sometimes.
too.
Yeah.
They make money hand over fist.
They did.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
it's
It's like, I'm going to play football in college. Hey, Marcy, let's, we need to gain some more weight. So let's go to the bagel shop and get get an egg
But
onion
we were-
bagel with double bacon on it.
bacon.
By the end of senior
Extra
year, we were
butter.
both real big too.
What was
I
that?
think I was like 230 by the end of the senior year. I had to lose weight.
Thick, huh?
Yeah.
I should have went. Yeah, I should have went in a little
I put
slimmer.
my hand in the dirt.
Yeah, right.
Like, what have you been doing this summer?
I know, right?
Okay,
Training
Get
to
on
be
the
a
line.
lineman.
Get on the line. No more linebacker for you.
All right. So,
Three technique.
Peter, God bless. Good luck. Here we go, Peter Olaco again, getting married to a fellow Baldwinite.
Way to go, Peter.
There you go. Remember, Peter, in this order, okay? You get married, you go right here. What's that? The Coral House, okay? All right. Then, you can, have a little nostalgia. Maybe find an equivalent to Bobby Rubino's, right? And then afterwards, you go to the Wander Inn, and then you get this This is a personal recommendation. Have a little lobster bisque. So you're going to have to find a replacement for Bobby Rubino's. You're going to have to find a replacement for Wanderin, but that's where your mind should be, okay? But go to the Coral House and maybe we'll show up. Coach Carroll, we'll fly Kyle in. We'll do a little pass by for you, all right? All right, folks. So thanks for joining us on this week's edition of BKBK Podcast. Thanks again for all the views. So keep watching. We want to be able to bring you the latest news and viewpoints of where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme. You can find us on Facebook on our BKBK Podcast fan page. Find us on Twitter on BKBK Podcast. Find us on Instagram on BKBK Podcast, as well as on YouTube. Just type in BKBK Podcast. Hit like and subscribe. All righty. So show that love, please. That's it. Let's go Jets. Let's go Ballin' Bruins. And let's go Team BKBK. We love you. All right. We're out. Cue up the music, DJ. Yeah. Peter Olaco.
That's right, Peter.
That's
We're
right.
ready for you, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Rest in peace, Coach Spoliano.